In the face of a threat, the primal response triggered by our limbic system is the same as all other living creatures: fight, flight, or freeze. Everyone is familiar and understands the fight or flight options. Less familiar to people is the freeze response. The freeze response is best characterized by the opossum playing dead or the deer frozen in the headlights. When we can't escape a problem or go into combat with it, we may instead freeze. Our breathing becomes shallow. We can become immobile, shut down, feel overwhelmed, and freeze in place. We don't know what to do, so we do nothing and wait for what comes next before we act. There are two dynamics involved that contribute to how serious we think a problem or threat may be. The more we do of either of these will increase our perception of danger and therefore intensify our anxiety. These are the two primary building blocks of anxiety, what could be called the two horsemen of the apocalypse of anxiety. And they're called amplification and catastrophizing. These are concepts I talk about all the time with clients. Amplification refers to the extent to which we magnify, intensify, or amplify something. In this case, a perceived threat. The original concept is called somatosensory amplification, meaning the extent to which we intensify physical sensations. People vary wildly in their trait for this. Some people may have an ache or a pain and will ignore it or give it little attention. Others may give the same sensation much more attention, which automatically amplifies it. And when we're not focusing on something, it basically doesn't exist. The more attention and focus we give it, the more it exists. We amplify it. Regarding the coronavirus outbreak, this dynamic comes into play. I'm not talking necessarily about the tendency to give excess attention to a physical sensation and therefore amplify that, but the amount of attention given to all the details about the pandemic and therefore amplify or intensify its emotional impact on us. While I speak in another video about the need for and benefit of knowledge regarding the virus, there's only so much information to be had. Giving it extra attention can't yield more information that does not yet exist. Instead, it amplifies the issue for us. It makes it bigger, larger, and more important. It starts to consume and fill our head. It's obvious that it's unhelpful for healthy coping. I know people who have the news on throughout the waking hours, and it's all pandemic coverage. These people will also be the types who are inclined to talk excessively about it and flooding themselves and family members with the topic. They're amplifying the issue and therefore intensifying, amplifying their anxiety. This then leads to the second of these concepts, called catastrophizing. Our excessive focus and attention on a problem makes it feel bigger and more threatening, therefore leads us to think and feel that it is a catastrophe. All forms of anxiety are the product of these two dynamics, and each one intensifies our anxiety. And as our anxiety increases, it leads to more amplification and therefore more catastrophizing. Another one of the various cycles or vicious cycles that characterize anxiety. It's the yin-yang of cognitive behavioral therapy. The yin is our thoughts and feelings, and the yang is our behavior. When our thoughts and feelings are very fearful, it contributes to fearful behavior, which then only reinforces our fearful thoughts and feelings, and therefore our fearful behavior, and so on the cycle goes. It's another vicious cycle. What this means is that we need to take more control of our behavior, what we choose to focus on, and what we choose to spend time doing. More time and energy spent on the healthy behaviors we have all heard about and that I speak of in another video: a healthy diet, solid sleep, exercise especially, socializing, and being productive have a positive effect on us physically and emotionally. But spending excessive time listening to repetitive news, talking excessively about the virus, spending online time on the subject, are all ways to amplify the issue and therefore will contribute to catastrophizing, all of which has a very negative impact on our physical and emotional health. The good news is that it's easier to change our behavior than our thoughts and feelings. So we do have power to make ourselves feel better during this crisis by choosing healthier behavior, which will pay off with healthier and happier thoughts and feelings.